Hello, you have found Why We Are Christians, a local Marin County TV show put on by Miller Avenue Church. My name is Katie Philpott. I am associate pastor at Miller Avenue Church in Mill Valley, California, and you usually see my husband in this position as interviewer, Kent Philpott, but today I have the pleasure of a second half of an interview with our very, very dear friend, Rebeka Etuku.
Thank you, Pastor Katie. I really appreciate it.
Well, here we are again, and we've talked about your having been born and grown up in Kenya, and it was not an easy life, and there was a lot of poverty, and we talked about your father having 2 wives, which was not that unusual. Maybe not, and 10 kids in your family, and your father dying when you were young, and things turning very difficult at that point, and that you had a fairly deep faith in God even then, and you finally made it to high school, which was a very big accomplishment for the family to be able to send you there. Had a lot of things that had to be given up, including the family cow.
No.
That's a big deal. So when we left last time, you had been kind of making your way through high school, and I'd like to know when, in terms of this part of your life, you had a new experience that led to your wanting to be baptized.
And so being baptized, because me and my siblings, we were baptized. I was baptized as a SCK, where, the Anglican Church, the way they will just do the water on you, and
like
they pray for you, and then, but because all of us, we loved the Church of God, and so my siblings were, especially like my follower, she's called Mary, and she used to be my mom's favorite, although I was the organizer of everything at home. I think my mom was also tough on me, which was really good. So for her, she got an opportunity as a child to be immersed in water in the Church of God, of which I really felt my mom didn't really support me because the other kids were mocking me. Because my mom gave, for a child to be baptized in Church of God, you had to give a chicken. And a chicken, in our family ways, there is poverty. You know what that means.
You can't do
So
it.
my mom could not afford chickens for all of us. And so she did for my sibling. That really broke my heart out, and I missed that opportunity to be immersed in the water. And so, so I missed that period to be baptized, but I had pain in me, like, my mom, why couldn't you just afford, just look for a chicken for me also to be baptized like any other child? Although they were being baptized, but they didn't know the meaning of being immersed in the water. It was sort of like a tradition, I would say.
Just a tradition.
Just a tradition. And so I went to the high school. I clinged on to the CU. Life was still hard. And because I had also trained my siblings how to take care of my mom, so they were doing those labor jobs to help support my mom. And every time I would be given some little pocket money of maybe, I don't know how much, I don't know. I never used to use it. I would hide it and bring it back to her to support the family. And
that sounds like you.
And so, I became to be baptized when I joined the Pentecostal church.
Yes.
Now,
would you call Church of God Pentecostal there?
The Pentecost church are now different from the Church of God. Church of God, they don't believe in speaking in tongues, but the Pentecostal churches,
Yes.
back in Kenya, they believe in speaking in tongues.
Okay.
They believe in evangelism. They're completely,
Yes.
So I became baptized, and I really thank God. That's the time also I was like yearning to know God more than I really wanted to serve. I admired the men of God. I admired the prophetic. I admired the prophets. it was really amazing. So the very first time I decided to be baptized, I was giving up.
Oh.
I was giving up in a manner that at the places of work I was being mocked, like nothing is happening. I was not able to...
Okay, when you say you were being mocked because of poverty or
Now I have moved from the village.
okay.
I think I've moved from the village. I've come to the city center to look for a job to be able to support my mom.
Okay.
And I've gotten this, I've started working. And my first job was to work as a cleaner, where I would carry steel tables of how many, kilos to 28th floor.
Oh my. Upstairs?
Upstairs. So we would carry it in the conferences.
28 floors?
Yes. So we would carry them. And at the same time, remember, I have walked from wherever I was staying to work. So I used to go walking and coming back. And then you carry those tables. And then you miss lunch.
Okay, so tables?
Tables, you carry the tables the whole day, putting them in the conference center, Kenyatta International Conference Center.
Okay.
And then again, you have to walk back
You have
home.
big muscles? Yes.
You have to walk back at home because I could not afford transport.
Right.
And then I have to support my mom, and they also ensure that the other kids are going to school. So it was really...
And you were alone.
Crazy. And I'm
you didn't
alone.
have your big family with you all the time.
Yeah, I didn't have. My sister had gotten married. I was staying with her, but then she was also going through marriage issues where the husband used to batter her. So it was crazy. Everything for me when I was growing up was crazy. Then I've gone to work to be able to support my mom. I can't afford lunch, and then all the girls would have boyfriends, and the boyfriends would buy them lunch, chips and sausages, and I could not afford sausages. I could not afford chips, leave alone sausages, but just chips. It was so crazy, and I vowed to God. I said, God, if you bless me, anybody coming my way, I wouldn't want to see them miss a meal. And I would never want to have money in my pocket and someone is craving for chips. No. Or even bread. I vowed to God. And so my heart goes for the poor, the children. So every time I would see someone like craving for chips, I would just say, go and buy as much as possible and eat. Because I still have that pain today. Like, I just want to be there for them, you know. And so, so the journey of serving God, I really dedicated myself completely. I would pray. I would want just to be in church, to serve. I want to evangelize. I want people to know Christ. I'm like, God is there. I'm looking at my own life. God is there. But the day to be baptized, I was getting discouraged.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. No, wait a minute. Let's get back to when you finally did get baptized.
So finally, when I moved to Nairobi in the city center, and then joined this church, and then I enrolled myself in the classes to be told why we should be baptized. And so, I was ready to be baptized, and I was grateful that it was happening to me the right time. I know now the meaning of being baptized and all that. Unlike when I was blaming my mom, she didn't give me
a chicken.
Yes, to go take to the pastor so that I was able to be baptized anyway.
Well, if there's a lot of people being baptized, they get a lot of chickens, those pastors.
They do. There are challenges, I'm telling you. Christianity has a lot of challenges. So, yeah. So now I was like, God, if you don't speak to me today when I'm going to be baptized, I think I'm done and I'm okay. I can't continue going through mockeries through my friends. They're like, look at her life. She claims she knows God and nothing is moving in her life. She doesn't have a boyfriend. She doesn't eat well. I mean, all those things. And I'm like, oh man, this is not good. God, why are you allowing yourself to be mocked? Oh my goodness, God. Okay, so now I am done because I can't continue like that. It was crazy. So I said, God, today, it's my day with you. Either speak or not. So I remember lining up for the baptism, and it was in a pool in one of the Kenya teachers' science school. So we went there, and I queued, I think, for 3 hours.
3 hours?
3 hours queuing to go and be baptized.
There are that many people being baptized?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
What year is this?
I think that was 90 or 89 there when I had just finished school. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so when I heard about this woman of God, I was just like admiring her, the way she was reaching out to the poor, praying for people and all the stuff. So, and she was a prophet. So I lined up. I said, she has never given me a prophetic word. And now this is my chance to meet her and see what next. So I closed my eyes throughout the line until the very time I reached the pool. And when I looked at her, I was like, God, it looks like there's nothing for me, but it's okay. I'm okay. I'm not having an attitude. I love you. You've done so much for me. So I'm ready for anything. So I was just about to put my foot in the water, and she said, bring her back. And she prophesied to me. And one of the words even she gave me, she said that you're going to appear on television set and the whole world will know about you. And here I've met Pastor Kate, Pastor Ken. I feel like they are my parents, spiritual parents. I really bless God for you. You really don't know how much you touch my life and other people secretly that I do touch through you.
Okay.
The little,
praise him,
it's not really little. The support you've always given me, I know, I'm just drifting away from the main topic here, but I know you've always supported me, but I have those cases. As I said, my heart goes for the poor and the women. So I get a text from one of families I support, and she told me, I've been sick. She's a pastor in one of the churches. And she told me, I'm sharing this with you because I cannot share with my church members, but I'm going through a lot of shame. Since my husband passed on, they took everything. So it took me back to what happened to my mom. And they took all the mattresses, they took all the blankets, they took everything in the house. So I've been sleeping on benches in the house. I'm going through shame, and now I've become sick. So the nerves started sort of coming together. And so the support you give me, I decided to take part of that. I told her, go and look for a mattress, buy a mattress, and go to the hospital. So she went to the hospital. They asked her where she sleeps. She told them. She opened up to the doctor. And so after that report is when she came back to me and said, yeah, I cannot sleep on those benches anymore. My children are going to be orphaned. Please, here I am. I cannot share with the members of the church. So the little money, the support you give me from the church, it's also touching other people. Thank you on that. Back to my topic.
Back to your, well, I mean, this is the way things work.
Yeah.
We don't just hoard what we get, and or go right out and buy new clothes or something.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me that.
I know that it goes to good use.
Yeah, it does. Definitely it does. So, yeah, so I got baptized, immersed in water. My friends, they were like, wow. But one of the mockeries from my other choir members were like, oh my goodness, did you see the way she was turned away? Oh, she's very sinful. Oh my goodness. How would it? So there's a lot of mockery.
So this is a lot of judgment that people are engaging in.
Yeah, both outside the world and also when you are.
Yes. I mean, one of the things that Christians do have to watch is that we don't turn our own escape from sinful behavior by the merest thread and by the blessing of God and the forgiveness of God, that we don't turn that into judgment on other people who are thereafter going through the same thing we went through.
Exactly. So so you're right. You're right. So
it's too easy. It's just very easy for people to judge others, even if they themselves had been guilty of the same thing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of human nature.
It's a human nature, yeah. So
Okay, so you were under the water, and then you came back out, and then what?
And then I think that motivated me to keep serving. All I wanted is just like, God, I want to know you more. God, I want to know you more. And I would wake up, I would pray, I would remember the prayer of my mother at 3 a.m. I would know my mother is praying, I would also pray. Now, God, I really want to know you. But I could not afford a Bible.
How did you finally get to where you could read a Bible? A Bible must have somehow come to you.
When now I came to Nairobi after high school, now I'm finding this Pentecostal church, and I'm serving there. And they would encourage us to read a Bible, pray according to the Word of God. So they used to encourage us, read your Bible, pray.
Were they giving Bibles to people?
They were not giving Bibles to people. So
did they have enough of them in the church for you to at least sit there and read them?
So what I would do is I would either borrow from a friend or I would borrow from a friend or... Yeah.
Is it still like that where there are plenty of people who are in church, but a lot of them don't have Bibles?
Exactly. So for me, my first experience when I came to Mill Valley Church, Baptist Church, and I saw all those Bibles, I was like, ooh, wow. And the knowledge, the books, and I'm like,
well, it sounds like we've got to put a big bunch of boxes of Bibles together and send them shipped.
It's true, because even a friend of mine, I can show you a text. A friend of mine has been like, the one we have been serving with, she was like, Rebeka, please, if you get a Bible, a nice Bible, please bring me. And I'm like, in fact, I see some of your books. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish this one I can just put it in a suitcase that can reach so and so, because I know there are people who are yearning for your books. There's a lot of knowledge in your books.
When are you going back? We're going to stuff your suitcases
very
with Bibles
soon. I'll really appreciate, because there are people, I know there are people who are just like,
well, I'm going to tell everyone watching that we're going to be looking to get Bibles to send to Kenya.
Yeah, there are people who really treasure these Bibles. And so after being immersed in water, and so I increased my fire for serving God, and I was like, I had never done evangelism. And I was like, what next, God? How do you want me to do it? And it was a little bit scary, because going to somebody and telling them about Jesus Christ, it's like, it's a fight. So you have to be ready for it, and you have to have this good words. And I was like, God, you've blessed me. You've given me favor with people. Use me. And I woke up one time, I was taking a shower, and I was like, okay, God, okay, give me souls. And I got scared. I said,
You said, give me souls?
yeah, I said, give me souls. Like, I was
Okay.
talking to myself, the way you're
Sure.
having a good time in the
Souls,
bathroom.
S-O-U-L-S.
Yes, souls,
Okay.
yeah.
I just want to make sure we got the word right.
That is it. Sorry for my accent, but it's the
No,
best.
it's okay.
It's the best.
Yes, I can understand 98%.
Yes, thank you. So I was like, I answered God. So I have to do something about winning souls.
Yes.
So I said, today is the day. How you'll do it, ask the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, lead me, guide me.
Yes.
So I get out of the
He's
house.
very good at answering that one.
Yeah, he is. He is the best friend. Pastor Kerry, do you know what happened?
No, what?
I got out of the house, walked. I didn't have a car, so I was using
Yeah, of course.
the Kenya means, the best means. We call them matatus.
Matatus?
So
Which is what?
It
Your
carries,
feet?
yeah, it carries about like 14 people. You sit.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so it's like a bus, but
Okay.
mini buses. So,
Yes.
yeah, so we have buses, at the same time we have matatus. So I ended a matatu. Before I went to the stage, I approached one person. I said, hi, my name is Rebeka. I'm born again. How did you wake up? How was your day? He said, oh, it was a young man. He said, oh, who is this lovely girl who just wants to talk to me? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I woke up very well, but I'm going to work. I said, okay, that's nice. I just wanted to know if you really love Jesus Christ and you'd really like to give your life to Christ. And he said, but I'm not pushing you. For me, the most important thing is to pray for you to start your day nicely. Please allow me to pray for you. So he looked at me. I said, you don't need to close your eyes. I'll just pray for you as we walk. So 2 minutes, I prayed for him. I asked him, would you love to give your life to Christ? He said, yes. The prayer was answered. So every day I decided, if I can go to the office, spend my 12 hours in the office, I need to do
12
something for
hours?
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Yes.
So in the morning, I would win 9 souls when I'm walking. In the evening, going back at home, I would win 6, 7, 5, whoever God will give me. So it became my daily routine, like just.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
The evangelista.
Yeah, I was like, God has done so much for me. I just want to also
Okay.
give back to the side.
So he also got you to come to America.
Yes.
In our 5 minutes, tell me how that happened.
So after high school, now I've just finished high school. I've come back now to the society. And one of the neighbors who used to mock my mother, and I remember she chased my mother out of her grinding mill because my mother had some corn, like here, maize corn. And so she was taking it to go and be grounded so that we would have porridge for
Yes.
that night.
Yes.
And so she looked at my mom and she said, do not ever bring poverty in my portion meal. Go back. So that night we slept without a meal. And so again she meets her and then she said, oh, so your girl has just finished high school. So what next? So my mother looked at her and told her, you know what? I've been mocked that I've never gone to school. But for me, I know one of my children will go to the university. One of my children will go to America. So she came back home and she told me, you know what? So-and-so mocked me again. And she told me, so what next? You've done high school. So where are you going to go? And I looked at her and I told her she will go to America. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here I am. So
Well, that's a big leap from
That's a big
I think
leap.
I will go to now I'm here.
Yeah, so actually, my first trip that I ever made, I first went to Switzerland,
Yes.
and through a neighbor, and just working hard and just respecting people and whatever, because I was trying to survive and help my mother.
Yes.
And I remember my mom saying that make sure anywhere you go, remember to respect people, remember to do the right thing. So she just loved me, and so the sister had given birth, and she was like, oh, this girl, she's good. Why don't you go stay with her? We see whether you'll be able to go to school and all the stuff, which never happened. So, yeah.
So I know that over here you are a very important ingredient in the life of a family, or were an important ingredient, meaning that word au pair or caregiver is associated with you all the time, that God kind of works through you to take care of other people and even other people's children when they don't necessarily appreciate you. So tell me what you have in current hopes and dreams, and how you see your life going in terms of your place in the world, your relationships, and your relationship especially to God.
Actually, Pastor Kerry, one of my biggest challenge right now is I'm working as a caregiver, I've been working as a nanny. And so the limitation of not being able to serve God has been, because sometimes I have to go work on Sunday, and I'm like, God, I hope I'm not missing on you, because this far you brought me. And so I'm looking forward, and I know God answers prayers. That one for sure, I know beyond doubt He will answer it. That I'm looking forward for a job whereby I'm not able to do Sundays, that I'm able to really commit myself to work for God. I've already told you my desire is to reach out to women and children and just be in the vineyard of God, helping the needy and loving on them, and at the same time help them to know Christ, because we live today because of Christ. So I'm looking forward to have space, to create space for God, but at the same time I'm trying to juggle in between, but He is faithful.
Yes, He is
faithful. Yeah.
Well, I have really enjoyed having you with me, with us, on this Why We Are Christian show, and especially in our midst, in our church family at Miller Avenue Church. And I would just want to tell people who are watching that they can see you on not only the Marin TV channel in the local area, but that they could go to milleravenuechurch.org and watch this show and other shows that we make. And it's just been wonderful having you. We love you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So long.